Welcome back, everyone. We are now getting closer to June 30th, which is the release date of Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny, and apart from that, we also have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni working on the Ahsoka Tano series, but we have a lot of things going on over at Lucasfilm with the trouble regarding Indy 5 and their big hope with the Ahsoka Tano series. We also have a lot of things on the horizon as well that is being driven by Kathleen Kennedy, LESLYE Headland, and yes, even John Watts, that George Lucas is very unhappy about. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the subject. Now, we know one thing about Disney and Lucasfilm right now is that they are currently at a standstill. They really are in full panic mode when it involves not just Star Wars, but also Indiana Jones now, as well as parts of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, they really are trying to right-size their projects, deciding on which ones to embrace and which ones to cancel and get rid of off the roadmap, etc., etc. Now, when it involves someone like LESLYE Headland, this is where things begin to get quite worrisome when it comes to her view of the franchise and when it comes to her overall approach of diverting away from George Lucas and stripping away his version of Star Wars, where she fully admits a lot of her plans are actually 100% intentional to go against George Lucas and to literally write over what we all know and love about the Star Wars philosophy within the prequels and the original trilogy as well. So, with Disney and Lucasfilm now pushing to make a big difference with the Star Wars franchise, however, with the upcoming Acolyte series still slated for 2024, and as reshoots are planned to take place this fall, LESLYE Headland recently stated the following to promote the series. With this show, it's all about shifting away from George Lucas's Star Wars. We knew going into this that we had to completely change our direction with the show, being based in the High Republic era. It was important to us to write something on a blank canvas to really deliver something new. I took many notes from Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi and how we could apply that bold take on the franchise to The Acolyte. So we knew we had to unburden ourselves from Lucas's philosophy of the brand and to embrace something new that was going to really give fans a different view of both the Sith and the Jedi. People can love or hate the Acolyte all they want once this arrives next year. I kind of find that to be an interesting natural response and admired that about Rian. Having different opinions like that means you are doing your job to do something bold for the audience. Now guys, let me pause here for a second. The thing that really worries me about the Acolyte is that she is deeply inspired by Rian Johnson. She loves Rian Johnson. She loves what he did with The Last Jedi. She even went on the record one time in the past stating that The Last Jedi, in her point of view, is better than The Empire Strikes Back. I mean, she really goes that far to praise his movie and to praise his direction of Star Wars that so many fans got divided over and had so many issues with for years now. So this is exactly why LESLYE Headland, in my book, is not a great fit at all for Star Wars, and she is admitting that the Acolyte is going to be really inspired from Rian Johnson. She's also made it clear before in the past that she, at one point, wanted to get him on board, either as a director or a co-writer for at least one episode. That did not work out because he was very busy with Knives Out 2, Glass Onion, if you will. And so that brings us to what she's also telling us here, is that she is proud of diverting away from George Lucas's Star Wars and really kind of dismantling what the Jedi and the Sith are all about and really changing our perspective of them. Now, we've already known that The Acolyte is going to be something that's going to be a very controversial series because it is going to be very similar to that of The Last Jedi in a sense, that it changes a lot of things that you love. And we're going to go over this in just a second, but she does go on to say that fans are going to hate something about this show in particular, and how she believes it will create some level of fan divide. Moving on. She goes on to state, "We are going to be giving fans a brand new take on the Jedi Order and a cult of the Sith that's going to be very different from George's view. I can tell there will be many fans that will hate this and really have a big problem with that. But as a filmmaker, I am willing to take that risk and be as relentless as possible with this approach. I think come next year, fans will really see how Star Wars is going to evolve in a different way for the most part. And I just try to tune out the toxic fans, because they really aren't passionate to begin with when it involves evolving a brand as big as this one. Myself and Kathy are dedicated to fully change Star Wars with this project, and we will be giving a first look to everyone come this holiday season, and also beforehand at D23. Now, Leslie Headland is making it fully clear, everyone, that we will be getting a first look at the Acolyte to the general public, mind you, at D23. Now, they did give us a trailer, be aware, at Star Wars Celebration in 2023, just a couple of months ago, and that was only for the attendees. Some of the footage got leaked out, by the way. You guys may have seen it. And this show is 100% airing, regardless. It is coming out in 2024. It may not have a season 2. We have heard rumblings that the show is, yes, canceled, but there will be a spin-off series connected to the Acolyte that's going to actually involve Brie Larson and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, a part of that project. We've talked about that too. So it's not necessarily going to be a season 2, but it will be a spin-off of the Acolyte series. Now, given that the Acolyte is basically the main show of 2024, since there will be no Mando Season 4, and that is going to be a big deal breaker, I think. That's going to create an even bigger deal for the fans to really get very underwhelmed, is because the Acolyte is being treated as the main show of 2024, apart from Andor Season 2. Alright? Those are going to be the two main shows next year, so just realize that is mainly what you're getting for 2024 as far as Disney Plus shows go, and that's going to range from the second quarter to the third to fourth quarter of next year. There's also going to be a third show that will be announced at D23 that's going to be on the level or on the status of what Skeleton Crew is like. So you're going to have like 3 different shows to choose from next year. But just be aware that that is Disney's intention, that Acolyte is the main show for 2024. And it is happening. It's going to be a very big deal. I think it will be The Last Jedi 2.0. It's going to create more problems. It's going to create more backlash. Unfortunately, it's something that I don't wish upon anybody, but Leslie Headland is just asking for this. She is really asking for all the fans to be upset about this hard approach. That's only going to make it harder for John and Dave to pick up the missing pieces and put it back all together again. And again, about that, it really does have a lot to do with Ahsoka as well. This year, August 26th, the day Ahsoka debuts, that's going to be a very important day for John and Dave to prove to everybody that Ahsoka is going to boost that momentum for the Star Wars franchise and put it in its right place. So, crossing fingers that John and Dave nail it with this one. We know that Disney execs have been calling this the home run of Disney Plus Star Wars, and they feel it is going to be the big one. And they want to make it the main flagship show eventually with the Season 2 and onwards. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding from night to moon.